You ever wake up in the morning, pour yourself a bowl of cereal and think, man, I wish these compressed flakes of corn would take up arms against an alien race in a Doom-like video game? You have? Oh, me too. In 1996, Digital Cafe set out to make that wish a reality. Digital Cafe was a company known for making digital marketing creations for various companies. One such company was General Mills. General Mills was looking to Digital Cafe to reinvigorate interest in Chex breakfast cereal. Probably because it's just about as much as an old white person cereal as you can get. Well, Digital Cafe stepped up to the challenge and created Chex Quest. Chex Quest was a full conversion mod of Doom. Yes, Doom, for kids. Chex Quest came packaged inside cereal boxes at the time and shared the same engine, the same gameplay, and the same combat with similar graphics to the big bad of the FPS genre. But, being a full conversion, everything was Chexified. You play as the Chex Warrior, armed with an arsenal of ZORCHers as you hunt Flemoids, green goo aliens on the planet Bazoik. Chex Warrior is tasked with stopping the invasion of the mucus monsters before they take over the planet. Being one of the first commercial total conversion mods of Doom, Chex Quest is actually pretty good. There's only 5 levels, but the levels are packed with alien zorching, key finding, secret hunting action, and it's a lot of fun. It's basically just G-rated Doom, with blood replaced with slime, and demons replaced with slime, and guns replaced with your TV remote. In 1997, Chex Quest 2, Flemoids Take Chextropolis, was released as a free download on the Chex website. It added an additional 5 levels to the game and made some changes to sprites from the first. Jump to 2008 and Chex Quest 3 is released.
Damn, boy. Damn, boy, he's thick, boy! That's a thick-ass boy! Damn!
Another downloadable game from the Chex website. Chex Quest 3 added an additional 5 levels, bringing the total level to 15, and made some fixes to the Chex Quest 2 levels. All 3 games are available for download for free on the Chex website right now, packaged as one game simply titled Chex Quest, and it runs off of the Z-Doom engine. 12 years later, we are now greeted to Chex Quest HD. Marketed as a remake of the original Chex Quest. How does it stack up? Well, grab your bowl, pour some Chex, and let's chow down.
Last week, a volcano exploded on planet Bazoik, launching particles of rock into space. One of these asteroids was captured and brought to our lands for testing.
We were investigating these globules as proof of snack life on other planets when we discovered that they actually contain eggs to an evil snack-eating creature from another dimension. When the eggs are exposed to nutritional substances, they hatch into what we call flemoids.
2 days ago, we lost contact with the people on Bazoik, including 5 members of the Chex Mix Squadron. We can only assume the Flemoids have taken over.
To make matters worse, we have found that conventional weapons seem to have no effect on these Flemoids. However, by recalibrating the phase frequency of our ZORCHers, we can send the Flemoids back to their own dimension.
Chex Quest HD is available for free on Steam, so it being a free game, I'm going to judge it accordingly. Cool? So right off the bat, you'll notice Chex Quest HD is pretty different than the original game. It features 3D graphics, it uses the Unreal Engine, has cartoony cutscenes, it has voice acting, and it has split-screen multiplayer. From a technical aspect, it's not gonna be pushing any boundaries. You don't have many graphical options, only the ability to set your resolution. The mouse sensitivity settings aren't quite as flexible as I wanted them to be. I like playing with a fairly low sensitivity for first-person shooters, and the game is either slightly too sensitive or not quite sensitive enough, so I couldn't quite get it to where I wanted it. The real reason I think the sensitivity is the way it is I think the devs designed the game to be played with a controller in mind. That's especially apparent in the multiplayer, where you can only use a controller to play it. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Graphically, the game looks okay. It's pretty basic. It's definitely not Doom Eternal, but it's a free game that's a marketing tie-in. Speaking of marketing tie-ins, the game actually isn't selling Chex cereal, but rather Chex Mix snack bags. You can see the Chex Mix logo everywhere as you play this game, trying to worm its way into your brain to go out and buy a delicious bag of salty corn chip mix. And we all know that doesn't work. Special Chex Mix bags are sold with a code that you can input to the game to unlock new characters to play as. But the cool thing is, Chex is actually putting these codes out for free on their own website and Facebook pages as well. So big props to them for not making you go out and hunting down different bags of Chex Mix for game content, especially since the game is free to begin with. So let's get to the gameplay. Accounting that you actually do put the codes in, you will have a couple different characters to choose from. All the characters play the exact same, get the exact same levels, move the same, and you get the same guns. The only differences between characters is the in-game dialogue you hear as you play, and you get a different intro and ending cutscene. Like its predecessor, each ZORCHer correlates with that of a classic Doom gun. Your starting ZORCHer is equivalent to that of the pistol, but you quickly get ZORCHers replicating the shotgun, chain gun, rocket launcher, plasma gun, and even the BFZ. Each ZORCHer acts exactly as you expect. Enemy variety matches that of the original game, with varying types of phlegmoids that do different kinds of attacks. That said, the AI is pretty stupid and every enemy is pretty easy to avoid and kill. Which brings up a point. There is only one difficulty setting, so there really isn't a way to make the game easier or harder. There are 5 levels to Chex Quest HD. The levels are inspired by the first 5 levels of the original Chex Quest, and share the same basic theme, but the level layout, enemy placement, and secrets are completely different. So I guess you could say, with that mixed with the addition of cutscenes and voice acting, this is a requel? The end of the game has you fight against the Phlegmbrain, which is the final boss and is basically a huge wall of goo that fires big balls of mucus at you. Finding secrets awards you with health or ammo pickups, more powerful guns, or some silly Easter egg screens. So make sure that you keep checking for hidden walls, switches, and hidden paths. Also, each character has their own level progression. So if you want to 100% the game, you will need to replay and finish all 5 levels 6 times. Which is a little tedious, but honestly the game is pretty fun. It doesn't take you very long to complete the 5 levels, and it's free. From a feel perspective, the game feels like a cross between Quake and Doom. It's a little less restricting than Doom. You can jump and free aim, and you can sorta move and jump around in Quake style, but it's not quite as smooth or fast. There's also no way to remap your controls, but it's mapped to play like that of the original Doom, so it's really not that much of a hassle. That said, shooting feels smooth enough. It's not the best I've ever played, but it's better than some other indie shooters I've played. It takes a second to get used to, but feels okay once you get into it. It took me roughly 25 to 30 minutes to finish the 5 levels. They aren't particularly hard, but I enjoyed my time going through the game. It was a fun little way to pass the quarantine boredom for sure. But I'm not quite done talking about the game. Chex Quest also comes with split-screen multiplayer. Finally, the arena shooter revival game that we have been waiting for. You and up to 3 friends can gather around your computer for a ZORCH fest. There are 3 different maps to choose from. The multiplayer plays just like you'd expect from an arena shooter too. Everyone starts off with the simplest gun and has you run through the map searching for armor and better guns. It'd be a fun game to include on your game nights and reminds me of the old split-screen days from my youth. I would say it would benefit from having more maps and an online multiplayer, but again, free game. You technically can play online via Steam's Remote Play, but it's not really online, and you have to play this mode with a controller. I rarely play shooters with a controller, so it took me a while to get used to it. I'd much prefer the ability to play with a mouse and keyboard, like the new Unity Doom ports do for their split screen. All in all, it's a simple but fun little shooting game. I think I prefer the original to it merely because it's literally just Doom and it has 10 more levels than the HD version, but the HD version is still fun and worth checking out, even if it's just to pass the time for a half hour as you get through a playthrough. So, if you're feeling nostalgic for some old shooters and want a quick way to pass the time, grab yourself a bag of Chex Mix, give Chex Quest HD a playthrough, and when you've finished it, go on the Chex website and download the original because that game is legitimately good too. So that's it for this review. Please like the video if you enjoyed it and leave a comment if there are any other games you want me to check out. I happen to play a lot of first-person shooters, so if there's a shooter you want me to see in particular, I'd be more than happy to talk about it. I play a lot of the indie ones and love checking them out. So yeah, that's it for this. Videos I'm working on for the future. I'm currently playing through all of the God of War games to do a review of God of War 2018, and I'll be mixing in some miscellaneous other videos until that time. But my next big review is going to be for God of War 2018. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and just check out Chex Quest. Bye.
Can you taste it? It's the real grain taste of Chex. You can hear how hearty it is. Can you hear it? Can you taste it? The real grain taste of Chex.
Chex brand cereals take the taste of rice, corn, wheat, and bran and gives them real grain crunch.
Can you hear it? It's the real grain taste of Chex. You can hear how hearty